Hey everyone, it's Kerry-Jean here. I've got a new mini album to show you. I was actually working on a custom order for a mini album, and I made a slight mistake by making the spine way too wide. But instead of chucking it out, what I did is I kept it, and I ended up making the mini album up anyway. And what I realized is instead of doing 6 pages, you do 8. So I'll show you inside now. So I've used all sorts of papers, all sorts of collections. I've used scrap bits of paper that I had lying around. This time I didn't do the thick trifold. I just did basic pages, and then there are some trifolds, but I'll go through it and show you. So lots of pockets. I've actually put pockets at the front this time because I made up heaps and heaps of mats. And again, I went through my cardstock collection and realised I had a lot of colours in my cardstock from when I worked at Kerry-Jean here in Adelaide that I just was never going to use for layouts. So I decided to use them for this. And I had lots of, you know, bits and pieces from various different collections that I just thought I'd use up. So I did a little tuck on there. I've done lots of tucks with most of the burgundy mats. These are a single piece that I've just folded, and we'll pop that one back in there. So here's one of the folds. I didn't do a trifold as I mentioned. I've just done single fold outs. There's another one of those mats. And then I sort of went through my collection of, my stash of collectibles from Kerry-Jean, and just did a lot of tucks with some of the collectibles that I had, and also used a lot of the collectibles. I did originally start inking all my edges, but I just thought, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to put everything together and see what happens. So it actually came out really well. So I've got half pockets, just a side pocket. Here's another half pocket with a tuck in there. And then I've got a full pocket, but instead of coming down an inch this time, I only came down a ½ an inch, which I actually really like. So I think I'm going to keep that for the future. There's a tuck there for a photo. That's just paper clipped in. I really like the sort of bohemian eclectic look that this gives. I mean, even the tabs are slightly different. I've done some tabs as the round tabs. I've used up an old Miriam Smith tab, and then I had some leftover tabs sitting around in my stash as well, so I've used up those. Created tucks on these fold outs. It's almost like a junk journal without the ring binding. Of course, I've actually done the mini album as a junk album. This time also I didn't put in the, I'll just show you on this one, the little pocket, because I just didn't feel like, I felt like trying something new. So isn't that what we're doing here, is trying something new every time? So more pockets. I was going to put pockets on the back of the page, but I had all of these collectibles that I just wanted to use up, so I did tucks, but I did do the pockets on the front and the back cover. So to do my pages, I worked out what the gap was and then just made the next one for my third stack a bit bigger, because I don't use the hidden hinge method from Kathy Orter anymore. I use a different method, which I'll put a link to where I found it in the description so that you can have a look as well. It's a bit different, and I actually find it a lot more sturdy, and it also means that I can do flat spines, which I found quite difficult with the Kathy Orter hidden hinge system. But work with whatever you find works for you. Again, this is just how I do things. But I really like this because, you know, I've got some Heidi Swap, Marion Smith, some old Graphic 45, some I don't even know where that one is from. So it's just using up what I have in my stash that I otherwise wouldn't use. And it's a great way to sort of use up those pages that otherwise would sit there and wouldn't get used as layouts. I've got a lot of space to work with as well, to put stuff in, and which is really great. So that's the latest mini album. I hope you like, and keep crafting. Thanks, bye.